The massive hegemony fleet stretched across the void like a deadly constellation, 300 vessels strong, their hulls gleaming with the confidence of 1,000 conquered worlds. Admiral Vex stood upon the bridge of the flagship, his four eyes scanning the tactical displays with practiced ease. The primitive blue world ahead held no surprises, another simple conquest to add to their empire's endless expansion. "Target analysis complete, Admiral," reported Navigation Officer Krim, his tentacles dancing across the control interface. "Single inhabited planet, primitive technology. No orbital defenses detected. Estimated conquest time, 4 standard hours." Vex's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. The humans of Earth would surrender quickly, as all species did when faced with the hegemony's overwhelming might. Their reconnaissance probes had revealed a species barely capable of interplanetary travel, still fighting among themselves with chemical propulsion and crude energy weapons. It would be another routine operation. "Begin approach formation," Vexing commanded. "Deploy scanner ships to full perimeter. I want complete tactical awareness before we enter their sensor range." The fleet moved with mechanical precision, each captain knowing their role in the grand design. Heavy cruisers formed the spearhead, their plasma cannons charged and ready. Support vessels spread wide, prepared to intercept any desperate escape attempts. In the rear, troop transports awaited their moment to deliver the final blow to any remaining resistance. Lieutenant Tor, monitoring the sensor array, frowned at his display. "Admiral, I'm detecting an anomaly in the outer system." "Specify," Vex replied, his attention still focused on the primary assault formation. "A single vessel, approximately 12 kilometers in length. It appears to be waiting." The bridge fell silent. 12 kilometers exceeded even their largest dreadnoughts. Vex turned his full attention to the sensor readings, his confidence wavering for the first time in decades. The ship appeared to be positioned between two of the system's outer planets, motionless, as if it had been expecting their arrival. "Classification?" Vex demanded. Tor's voice carried uncertainty. "Unknown design, Admiral. The configuration doesn't match any known species in our database. Hull composition appears to be some form of reinforced metallic compound. I'm reading massive energy signatures throughout the vessel." "One ship," Vex muttered, reasserting his composure. "Whatever their capabilities, they cannot stand against 300. Maintain course." But as the fleet advanced, the readings became more disturbing. The vessel's energy output was increasing exponentially. Weapon systems unlike anything in hegemony records were powering up along its length. Most unsettling of all, the ship showed no signs of movement or communication. It simply waited with the patience of a predator. "Admiral," Krim's voice trembled slightly. "Long-range scans are detecting additional vessels emerging from the shadow of the gas giant. 6. No 8 more ships of similar configuration." Vex's 4 eyes widened. 9 ships, each larger than his flagship, arranged in what could only be described as a defensive formation. The implications struck him like a physical blow. Earth was not the primitive backwater their intelligence had suggested. Somehow, impossibly, the humans had concealed their true capabilities. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission," reported Communications Officer Dahl. On screen, the main display flickered to life, revealing a human figure in what appeared to be a military uniform. The being looked remarkably similar to the hegemony's own species, but with only 2 eyes and smooth, pale skin. When it spoke, the translation matrix rendered its words in perfect hegemony standard. "This is Admiral Kane of the Earth Defense Fleet. You have entered sovereign human space without authorization. You will reverse course immediately or face the consequences." Vex straightened to his full height, drawing upon centuries of military protocol. "I am Admiral Vex of the Hegemony Third Fleet. We claim this system by right of conquest. Surrender now, and your species will be granted the privilege of serving the Empire." The human's expression remained unchanged. "Admiral Vex, you are outnumbered and outgunned. This is your final warning." Laughter rippled across the hegemony bridge. The audacity of these creatures claiming superiority with a mere 9 vessels against 300 struck the crew as absurd. Vex himself joined in the amusement before responding. 9 ships against 300 human. Your mathematics appear as primitive as your technology. Admiral Kane's lips curved into what the translation matrix identified as a smile. Admiral, you've made a critical error in your assessment. You're not facing 9 ships. You're facing Earth's 13th fleet. The display shifted, revealing the true scope of the human formation. What appeared to be empty space around the 9 visible vessels suddenly blazed with energy signatures. Dozens, then hundreds of additional ships decloaked, their stealth systems deactivating in perfect synchronization. The hegemony fleet found itself surrounded by over 800 human warships, each one larger and more heavily armed than anything in their arsenal. Vex staggered backward, his confidence crumbling like sand. Impossible. Our intelligence. Your intelligence was deliberately fed false information for the past decade, Kane continued calmly. We've been aware of your approach since you entered the Outer Rim. Earth has been preparing for this moment. Since we first detected your empire's expansion pattern, the tactical display painted a hopeless picture. Human vessels had materialized at every strategic point, cutting off retreat routes and establishing overlapping fields of fire. The hegemony's numerical advantage had become a liability, with their ships packed too closely together to maneuver effectively. The question now, Admiral Vex, is whether you withdraw peacefully or force us to demonstrate why humanity has survived in a hostile galaxy. Choose wisely. Vex looked at his crew, seeing his own fear reflected in their faces. 300 ships against 800. Modern technology against something far beyond their understanding. The confident predator had become cornered prey in a matter of minutes. Communications officer, he said quietly, signal the fleet. Full retreat. Maximum speed. The mighty hegemony armada turned and fled, leaving Earth space as quickly as their engines could carry them. Behind them, the human fleet maintained perfect formation, a silent promise that any future aggression would meet an even swifter response. Admiral Kane watched the alien vessels disappear into hyperspace before activating his fleet-wide communication channel. Well done, everyone. Sometimes the best victory is the one where nobody has to die. As the human ships began their return to patrol stations, a single thought echoed across their communications. Earth would never again be underestimated.